you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. Thank you so much for joining the Stay To event. So, before getting into the details, I would like to introduce you to the audience. So, welcome on stage, Millicent Driver, as an entrepreneurial strategist, author, and speaker. Dr. Driver is dedicated to empowering professional women to transcend obstacles and embrace their innate strength, fostering both personal growth and entrepreneurial. With her acclaimed works including Pretty Ugly, Strategies to Developing Your Mindset and Discovering the Beauty Within and Self Love Guide, Affirmations and Strategies to Embracing the Essence of You. Dr. Driver offers profound insights into mindset transformation and self empowerment, drawing from her academic background in sociology as well as master's degree in public and environmental affairs and marriage and family therapy. She merges theoretical knowledge with practical expertise to guide attendees towards holistic growth. Moreover, her faith based coaching approach as a certified Christian life coach infuses spirituality into her teachings, resonating deeply with many. Recently honored with an honorary doctorate in philosophy of business entrepreneurship and certification as a business entrepreneur coach, Dr. Driver is poised to lead participants towards entrepreneurial success. Wow, that's an
Hi.
awesome introduction. So, yes, you can start your presentation. Good luck.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Very glad to be here. Like I said, like she said, I'm Millicent Driver, and I am an empowerment coach, and I am a business coach, and that kind of mirrors each other. So we empower women in business. We also talk about mindset. We talk about really preparing the foundation to be able to go into business, to get ourselves together so that we're ready to be successful as our launching pad. And I'm also an author, and I am also a speaker, and I am a podcaster. So I have a podcast called Tea with the Queens, where we talk about transformation, empowerment, and achieving. And I also have a podcast for men, All the King's Men, where they pour into us again, empowerment things, spiritual things, and of course, business foundations. So today, the presentation is on igniting the fire of entrepreneurship. Many of us in entrepreneurship, solopreneurship, those who are executives, whatever it is that you're doing where you're in leadership, you get burnt out. And this is a particular period of the time of the year where we get burned out because we've been going and going and going all year. Get to the middle of the year, now we're tired. So I just want to encourage you, those who are starting out and those who are have been in this vein for a while, very experienced. Regardless of where you are on this walk, we all have experienced the burnout. We all have the need to be rejuvenated. So this presentation is about igniting the fire. And what that means, that fire is that fearlessness, that independence, that resilience, that enterprising. So I want to be able to break down those four measures to be able to show you how you can ignite the fire in your own personal lives and in your business. So again, my name is Millicent Driver, and I am from Maryville, Indiana, actually. So I am in the United States in Maryville, Indiana, where I am like I say, empowerment coach, but I am very involved in my community, and I'm very involved in supporting women on their journey into entrepreneurship. So we want to get into talking about exactly what do we mean by being about the fire, being fearless. So we're going to talk about what that means as far as us going into the last part of the year, being empowered, being strong, having that fire, having that fearlessness, and being able to step into what it is that we need to step into to end this year out with the right way. So excuse me, I am having a difficult time with my slides. But anyway, what we're going to talk about is how we're going to embrace that fearlessness, how we're going to embrace that empowerment, how we're going to embrace that resilience, how we're going to embrace ourselves for an enterprising spirit. A lot of times we may think about being an entrepreneur, but do we really understand what it means to have an enterprising spirit? So I apologize. For some reason, when you're doing this and you get everything together, as soon as you get ready to do something, that things happen. That's where you got to be resilient. That's where you got to be resilient, and you got to have that mind to keep going because things happen, things frustrate you. And this is a prime example right here of when you're working so hard and you get to that certain point and you just get burnt out. Seems like things are just not meshing together. Don't quit. Keep going. I don't know if this is happening to be an example, but keep going. So fearlessness means being able to face challenges head on. When you're igniting yourself and you're reigniting yourself, you have to be fearless. You have to go out there and you got to say, like we just had this episode right here. Whatever the challenge is, you got to meet it head on. You just got to keep going. You just got to keep moving despite the uncertainties and the doubts. Okay, we have to fuel ourselves with that fearlessness because it's scary out here. It's scary to step into entrepreneurship. It's scary to step into leadership positions that you may have. And it's scary to be a solopreneur where you got to do things on your own. You are it. There's nobody else to lean on. So that's scary in itself. That's a fear. But we have to remain fearless. So I mean, when you're going forth in your business and you're going and you're doing things, you're seeing things explode, and as soon as things explode and explode in a good way and things are flourishing, we tend to get a little scared. We tend to push back a little bit and say, well, you know what, this is a bit too much. I wasn't expecting things to work out this fast. I wasn't expecting things to go to this level. But you got to be able to take care of that fear head on. That's the fear that you have when things are not going well, and that's the fear that you have when things are going very well and maybe a little too fast. So we have to embrace fear. So we use fear as a catalyst for growth. So don't look at fear as if it's a bad thing or if it's a negative thing, but look at fear as if it's your launching pad to success. So that can be the catalyst of your growth. We can't always push the things that don't feel comfortable for us away. We have to use those things as leverage, as a launching pad to be able to take ourselves to the next level. We get so bogged down with things sometimes with the day to day operations, with the financial obligations and responsibilities, dealing with people. We tend to just get to a certain point where, that this is enough. But we can utilize that as our launching pad to actually step back on that and say, you know what, acknowledge where I'm at, acknowledge the fear, acknowledge the confusion, the stress, all of those different things. Acknowledge that. Step back in it and use that as a launching pad to leap forward. And also, when you're fearless, you have to learn how to take those calculated risks. You have to learn how to say, you know what, I'm just going to go for it. We have nothing to lose. You lose not doing anything. So you have to take that opportunity and just launch forth. Get out of your comfort zone and just go forth and do what you need to do. So that fear actually is not always a bad thing. That fear actually can be your leverage to take you to the next level and where you need to go. And I say that not just in business, but in your personal lives. A lot of times we plan things that we want to do. We have goals, we have aspirations, we have hobbies, we have things that we want to do that's creative that we just want to step out and do. But we're scared, we're fearful. But you're not going to get it done until you take that opportunity to just launch. So I'm just encouraging you that whatever it is that you're dealing with and whatever it is that's weighing you down in fear, let's just take care of that and just go ahead and just do it anyway. Now, the other part of FIRE is independence. So, independence is something that we often don't talk about because when you're an entrepreneur and you're in control, you don't think about independence because you feel like, okay, this is my thing anyway. So, I'm not even concerned about being independent. And then again, solopreneur. It's just you. You don't have to worry about anybody else because you get your hands in everything. And then, being an executive, you're at the top. So everybody's looking to you to do everything or to make all the decisions. So there's no need for you to consider independence. But independence is about taking control of your own actions, your own ideas, and your own decisions. So we have to consider the independence a part of our fire in order to be able to ignite ourselves back to being resilient and being able to flourish, we have to understand that we need to have independence. We have to believe in our actions. We have to believe in our decisions, and we have to believe in our ideas. We have to stand firm on those. And those are our ideas and our decisions and our actions. So we have to be comfortable in that. So you have to take the independence, to take the leverage to be able to be independent in those areas. So it's very important to understand what independence means. Entrepreneurs, we thrive in environments where we have freedom, where we have freedom of expression, we have freedom of being creative, we have the freedom to show our vision. So that is very, very important to understand what that means, to have that independency when you're doing your entrepreneur mindset. Keep that going in your head. Okay, I need to be independent, and what that independence really, really means. Because, for example, if you have an idea, you have goals, and you have a vision, when you're not in control of that, it doesn't matter if you are the head, or it doesn't matter if you got someone else that's kind of doing things for you, whatever the case may be. You don't want someone else's vision to come in and filter in what you're doing and get you off course, take you away from what it is that you need to be doing. So you have to understand how important it is to understand your independence, how to be proud of that independence, and to be firm in that. Do not sway just because someone may put in your ear that it's not the best idea, or maybe you should go in this direction or that direction. There's nothing wrong with getting healthy feedback, but make sure that your vision is independent of what it is that you want to do and where your goals and your desires are taking you. Understand your purpose, understand your why, and understand your objective. And then it will lead you into the independence that you need to make those sound and solid decisions. So we're going to go to the next one, which is the R, which is resilience. Being independent is about showing up and being resilient. And I want to go back to being to freedom for one second. It talks about being with freedom is also about taking the opportunity to dive into your passions, to acknowledge your passions, to go and pursue your passions, your destinies, your ideas in a creative way. And I'll talk about the business side of a lot of things, but I also want to encourage us as, you know, out in our natural lives. We have to live, and this life is what we have, and this is the life that we've been afforded. So we want to make sure that we're enjoying it. So I say, take that opportunity in your freedom as well to be able to tap into some of the things you desire to do that has nothing to do with business per se. But really, 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 you just really embrace that opportunity to view the world in a different aspect, and then view the world as freedom to be able to express yourself. So getting to resilience, and what that means. Being resilient is the bedrock of entrepreneurship. It's allowing yourself to bounce back from setbacks. Okay, we talked about that in freedom, about allowing that fear to be that launching pad, that catalyst for you to be able to launch forward. So that resilience is the act of launching forward and building yourself back up, being able to recover from setbacks. I had a setback before when I lost my son, and I felt like I could not go on and continue on my business, continue on planning, and continue on in my pursuit of just doing even personal things. I was just numb. I felt like everything had just kind of fell down on me, and I was stuck, and I didn't know how to come up. Now, this is extreme, but it's an example of what it's like not to be able to go on and do the things that you desire to do. And that's a part of fear. I feared life and moving on without him. I didn't want to live without him. I didn't want to pursue anything without him. I didn't want to even have fun or even laugh and smile without him, because I felt like at some point I was letting him down. But I had to learn how to come back from that setback. And now the setback doesn't have to be the death of someone. It doesn't have to be the loss of anything. It could just be maybe your business just took a step back and you needed to kind of pick up and go forward again. Those setbacks. So in order to ignite the fire, we have to be resilient. We have to at first recognize when resilience is there, because that's the action, to me, is moving forward. That resilience, we have to be able to acknowledge and to realize that the resilience is there. This is that opportunity now that I need to launch forward. So that is very, very important to understand, that we have to be able to take those challenges and look at those challenges as new opportunities. That's where resilience is built from. Because now, instead of looking at what I've been through and looking at the things that may have been a barrier and a heaviness in my life, now I can look at that as resilience. I can look at that now. This is some new opportunities. I had the opportunity not only to go back into pursuing entrepreneurship, but I was able to write my story about how I felt about losing him, how I felt, going through the whole world of grief, how I felt alone, the pain that I felt. But I was also able to pour into someone who's experiencing grief, that you can get to the other side. So that was an opportunity. That was the that was the key to my resilience. That was the foundation to my resilience. So I had to push myself and realize that now is the opportunity for me to launch from this setback. And I hate to say that it's a setback from grief, but actually, grief can stifle you. So I felt like it was a step back for me. It wasn't anybody's fault that happened, but it just happened in life. And I had to recognize and I had to realize what it was that I needed in order to be able to move forward. And never underestimate the power that you have within you that's already there. We go through things sometimes, and we have to go through things in life because it was mandated that we go through things in life. When we go through those things, we just feel like, okay, when you're in the thick of it, you can't see your way out. You just can't see any other way. But we all have that opportunity to be able to embrace that resilience. We all have that opportunity to go to the other side. It's just acknowledging and recognizing that. So I don't know what you may have been through that was so significant that caused a setback in your life, or a setback in your business, setback in anything that you feel was important to you. Whatever that setback is, just kind of sit back and think about it. Think about how it made you feel, how it's making you feel, and what do you want to see different in it. I couldn't change the fact that he was gone, but like I said, I was able to sit back in it and say, now, what am I going to do with this grief? What am I going to do with this moment in my life? So I didn't want to just waste away, because I'm still living, I'm still here. So I have to keep moving. So I said, okay, this is an opportunity now for me to exercise that resilience. So I had to pull myself up. Again, we can do that. You can do that. You got this. This is the opportunity now. This is the moment now. So do not let it pass you by. Now we're getting to the E, which is enterprising. So we talked about the fire. We talked about freedom, being able to embrace our freedom. We talked about being able to be independent in our freedom. And we talked about being resilient. So those are the first letters of fire, but they represent, of course, igniting. So we're going to get to enterprising, because we want to talk about now igniting that business. We want to talk about having that business mindset. So being enterprising is seizing the moment, and seizing the moment of creativity, seizing the moment of ideas, seizing the moment of visions. So that is enterprising. When you have a mindset of creativity and innovation, you can put forth that initiative to make some things happen. So you have to be enterprising. You got to understand what enterprising is. So being enterprising, like I said, is seizing the opportunity. That when you recognize the opportunity, that sets you apart from those who are just thinking about a business, and it could be any kind of business, small business, just an idea, and they say, oh, I'm just going to act on it. But when you're enterprising, you take things to another level. Now you're thinking about the market, you're thinking about solving problems, you're thinking about ways to add value to your business. So when you're in business and things are slow and they're slow moving, like I said, this is the middle of the year. We're burnt out, and it was a great start, but now we hear things have slowed down. The summertime is here. People are not as prone to probably look even at your services because they're out doing things and enjoying this weather, the best that we can enjoy of the weather. And so things may seem like it's just kind of going down. So that infiltrates into our mood. So now we're not as excited about what we're doing. Now we're kind of in a slump. So we want to make sure that we are enterprising, that we understand, okay, this may be happening in my business, but how can I now take it to the next level where I could start to build that back up? So I just wanted to share a couple of points that I have here about cultivating the fire. Number one, to cultivate the fire of entrepreneurship, individuals must foster a mindset of continuous learning, growth, and self discovery. So, this is your opportunity now for learning new things, to be able to grow in your business and self discovery, which I love because now this is an opportunity to get to know who you are, to get to find out who I am, what is it that I want, what are my true desires. Number two is embrace fearlessness by stepping outside of your comfort zone, embracing failure and seizing opportunities and growth. So again, being fearless, being able to just go out there and say, you know what, I'm going to take this freedom and I'm just going to go. I'm going to tear down the being fearful. I'm going to tear down the anxiety. I'm just going to go forward and I'm just going to step out and seize the moment. Next, number three is nurture independence by taking ownership of your journey. Set ambitious goals and forging your own path forward. So now you're taking that independent road. Now I'm creating my own destiny. I'm creating my outcome. I'm taking the road that I desire to have. So that right road leads you in the wrong place, then still it was an independent decision, an independent move. Fourth, cultivate resilience by developing a positive mindset, embracing challenges, and viewing setbacks as opportunities for learning and growth. Again, take that opportunity to learn from the things that you did not agree with or made you feel bad or hurt your business or caused you not to be in the place you would like to be at in this time of your life. Use that as an opportunity to develop into something positive, to embrace the challenge and look at it as an opportunity for growth. And then lastly, foster an enterprising spirit by staying curious, seeking out new opportunities, and leveraging your creativity and resourcefulness to drive innovation. So again, enterprising, being able to constantly stay in the place of learning, being creative, being innovative, being curious about new opportunities, going and seeking out those new opportunities and making those things happen. So, in conclusion, entrepreneurship is a journey fueled by, I'm sorry, entrepreneurship is a journey that's fueled, and we have the opportunity to ignite that fire with that fuel. Okay, so we have to remember that we have to be fearless, we have to be independent, resilient, and enterprising. We have to make sure that we're nurturing all those parts of ourselves to be able to make the next half of the year and beyond strong. And we have these tools now that if we ever get into that place where we're not feeling our best about what we're doing and we feel that we're burnt out, let's ignite that fire again. And remember, success is not defined by the absence of challenges, but the courage to overcome them. So that doesn't mean that we're not going to be faced with some things. But that means that we now have the opportunity to look at them, and we get an opportunity to now to ignite that fire and be able to pursue our passions, our purpose, and our dreams and our goals. So now the key is perseverance. I'm sorry, talking today, perseverance. So that's what we need to do to stay on target. So let's go and let's ignite this fire of entrepreneurship. Let's make the second part of the year strong. And let's remember that we are resilient, we're fearless, we're enterprising, and we have the freedom to make things happen. And also, we have the independence to create our own path that we desire to go in.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the great presentation. I'm so sorry to hear about the loss of your son. Um,
Oh, thank you.
I'm sorry. So, yeah, it was really heart touching and emotional presentation and also inspiring to many. Thank you so much for joining the stage and sharing your story with us. So, we do have a question for your presentation. So, here is the question from our audience. What are the key strategies you recommend for igniting the fire of entrepreneurship, especially for women looking to start their own businesses?
So you said the three strategies,
Key strategies.
key strategies to ignite the fire of starting their business.
Yes.
Okay, I would say number one would be to understand your why. Why are you starting a business? Is it just because you want to make money? Is it because you want to be independent and you don't want to work for someone anymore? You just kind of want to try your own thing. So just understanding your why is the key, because your why could be those things. And it also could be that you would like to help your child with their education. You would like to buy your parents a home, or you would like to be able to travel and anytime that you want. So those are the whys. And also it could be that you really desire to make a difference in your community, and your business stands for that. So just even understanding your why is very, very important. And it should be dear to your heart. And it doesn't have to always be something that's business related. And number two is understand what your goals are. What do you want to achieve? Because starting a business is difficult, and you seem your mind changes a lot about things, where you want to go, what you want to do, how you want to show up, your brand, everything. Sometimes you just really, you're playing around with things in your head, trying to figure out what's the best fit for yourself. But if you have some measurable goals that you can look at and say, look, in the beginning they may be small goals, but these are measurable. So if I can hit some of these goals, then I can kind of go in the direction that I want to go in. Once I get there, then whatever help I need to branch out, I can. But the main thing is getting those goals started and being able to know what is that you want to accomplish. And I would say number three is really, really, really have a good I will say business plan, vision. Just kind of map out what you would like to be able to do, offer. The goals is one thing, but what are you going to actually do in your business? So what is your plan? What are you going to offer? What are you going to be delivering? What services or products are you going to be delivering? So just an idea of that. It doesn't have to be solid right now, but you need to have a plan, a business plan of what you plan to execute. So those are the three keys, I think, when you to get you excited. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to ignite that passion. We're trying to ignite that fire. So that's not the catch-all in starting a business, but I think if you do those three things, you're going to be excited, and you're going to be able to, say, hey, I want to do this. I can do this. So that's my three.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the knowledgeable information you have shared with us and also the key strategies. So, well answered. So, please do join our next speaker sessions as well and show some love. And so, looking forward to hear more presentations from you for our future conferences as well. Thank you for joining and have a nice day.
Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Yeah. Bye bye.